Hi, I'm Matt, and on today's Matt's World DIY, I'm going to make delicious no-bake peanut butter bars. They come together so easily, so quickly, and they are so yummy delicious, you just have to try this recipe. So let's get to it. The first thing we have to do to get these peanut butter bars assembled is to prepare our baking dish. Of course, I love my parchment paper, so we're going to make our parchment paper envelope for our pan. If you haven't seen me do that before, let's check it out. All you have to do is take a sheet of parchment paper, make sure it's larger than your pan, and I'm using a 9x9 pan today, and cut 4 slits just along the corners of each corner of your pan. Okay, then we take and fold in our edges so that our parchment paper will lay flat in our pan. You may have to make some adjustments based on the accuracy of your cuts, which I'm not a very accurate cutter so many times, so I'll probably have to make some adjustments, but we'll see. Now that my parchment paper is in my pan, I can start assembling the peanut butter bars. I'm going to start by cutting up a 1.5 sticks or 3/4 cup of butter. I'll put it in my bowl, I'll microwave that until it's melted, and let that set and cool for just a little bit. By cutting it up, I'm helping the melting process instead of having these big sticks in the microwave and trying to do all of that at one time. Breaking it up will help it melt a little bit more easily, more faster, and have fewer butter explosions in the microwave. All right, there we go. I will cover this up with the paper and then start melting. All right, it only took about 1 minute of microwave time to melt my butter. It's almost fully melted, and I think as it sits for a little bit, the residual heat will continue to melt that butter, so it's fine. The next thing I want to do is get 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs pulverized. You can use a food processor like I will do today, or if you want, you can put your graham crackers in a baggie and take a rolling pin or a pot or something and pulverize those and just break them up so that they will form the base of our mixture. I'm placing about 1.5 packages of graham crackers in my food processor. That should give me about 2 cups. Whoops. If only everything just went perfectly, that'd be great, but you know what? The world is not a perfect place, but that's okay. Keeps you on your toes. So let's pulverize these guys, make crumbs out of it, and then we'll move on. Right, this looks great. I don't want to break them up. I don't want to crumb them up too fine because to have a little bit of a crunch in your peanut butter bar, it can be a nice thing. So I want to have just a little bit of texture remaining in my cookies. Crackers. While I'm measuring out these graham cracker crumbs, I just want to remind you, if you like my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. This will help my channel grow, and I'm loving all the interactions that we're having, and I hope to further build my channel so we can have even more. Crushing those graham cracker crumbs seemed to be the worst part of this recipe. There was a mess everywhere, just crumbs everywhere, and that's just going to happen. What I can't stand is that there's crumbs now on the floor, and whenever I move my feet, it's like, it's something for me to work on. Anyway, so that's out of the way. Now let's go ahead and assemble everything that we've got, okay? So I'm going to pour my butter into my mixing bowl. So remember, that was like 3/4 cup of butter melted. And then to that, I'm going to add my 1 cup of peanut butter. Here's, ooh, careful. One of the things I've learned is that fats don't come out of laundry very easily, if ever. Anyway, when you're choosing your peanut butter, if you want to go crunchy, go crunchy. It could add another extra texture element to your dish. Whatever peanut butter you go with, make sure you go with a processed peanut butter because it has these emulsifiers and stabilizers in it that will allow your peanut butter bars to set. If you go with the natural kind that you have to stir before you put it on a sandwich, that's what I eat on my sandwiches, then this is not going to be as stable of a dessert or a little treat for you. So go with the processed and it'll come out better. When your peanut butter is in with your butter, take your mixer. If you want to use a stand mixer, you can do that. If you want to use a hand mixer, you can do that. If you want to do this by hand, you can do that. You've got options. So this is a great thing. I want to use my hand mixer just to kind of help me out because it just makes the process just a little bit more easy. Lovely. That took a whole 30 seconds, if that. But I want to take my spatula and I'm going to just kind of scrape down my bowl a little bit because that butter on the edges just wants to stay away from the beaters. And an FYI, this on toast, it's amazing. It's wonderful. But is it the most healthy? Probably not. So, you know, choose your poison, as they say. To my peanut butter mixture, I'm going to gradually add in 1 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. And I'm going to carefully blend, mix with my mixer. Again, you can use your hand tools if you want. And I'll finish mixing this with my spatula by hand. And then I'll add the remaining, to the bowl, not the counter. I can just mix that by hand. Look how easy that is. So now what I'm going to do is add 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs. This part will become lots of fun to mix. And if you have kids or grandkids and you want to get them involved in the kitchen, this is a great recipe to get them involved in. They'll have lots of fun because they can do a lot of hands-on things. And you know, I used the food processor, but you don't have to. I used a hand mixer, but you don't have to. So any of those gadgets, this can all be, those aren't necessary. You can just do all of this by hand and you can involve the kids if they're interested. But while I'm mixing in my graham cracker crumbs, I have a story for you. Many schools will serve up, or historically have served up, before a lot of the peanut allergies came out. Back in the day, this was a common snack for kids in the schools. The cafeterias would make this as a dessert for the kids in the schools. And you know, I went to a different school every year of my life. I went to 3 5th grades, and it wasn't until I got to high school that we stayed in one town. We just moved around a lot because my dad liked adventure, so we did. It was hard, but it was also something that helped develop me into who I am today, whatever. But no regrets, no concerns about that. That's all fine. But I do remember the different schools that I went to having unique characteristics, like some of the things that they would serve on a regular basis. And there was one school that did these peanut butter bars, and it's topped with chocolate. We'll get to that in a minute. But they were super delicious, and I always loved whenever they were serving those up, because it was kind of it was like, wow, I love school. I loved lunch. Anyway, there goes my spatula. It was a clean break, so that's good. Oh man, totally ruined my story time. I was thinking about positive memories and then my spatula breaks. You know, whenever you lose a tool in the kitchen, it's never a good thing, especially if it's one of your favorites. This looks very well combined, and now all I have to do is get it in my 9x9 baking pan. Let's get this in the bowl, or let's get this in the pan. I'm all flustered now. I don't know my words. Okay, my dough is in the pan, but it's clumped up, and I need to spread it out. So I have a bowl that I have some water in, and I'm just going to, not a lot of water, but just enough to moisten your hands. And I'm going to press the peanut butter cookie mixture evenly in the pan. While you're pressing your mixture out, make sure that you get it all the way to the edges and the corners, so you'll have a nice solid shape whenever it comes out of the refrigerator later. Now that my peanut butter mixture is firmly packed into the pan, I'm just going to get this into the refrigerator and let that start chilling while we make our chocolate topping. So for my chocolate topping, I have 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, and to that I've added 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. I'm going to microwave that until it's melted and smooth. Then I'll take my peanut butter bars out of the fridge and pour that over, and we'll take it from there. When you're melting your chocolate in the microwave, make sure you just take your time with it. Do short bursts. I did 2 30-second bursts, but keeping my eye on it the whole time, because you can easily burn your chocolate, and that's not something you want to have in your recipe at all. Okay, so I put it in an additional 15 seconds, and that, along with the residual heat from the bowl, is going to allow for nice, smooth melting of my chocolate. This looks perfect. I still see there's some chips, but they will melt away so easily, so quickly, and so yummy. Check this out. Look at that. So nice, nice. I've taken my pan out of the fridge, and it's started to cool, which is great. It's going to need a lot more cooling. But I'm going to pour my chocolate over the peanut butter mixture, and then I just need to level it out and have some patience from there. Chocolate is on top of the peanut butter base. It goes in the refrigerator for 90 minutes, and then we can pull it out, chop it up, and eat it up. So we'll see you in a little bit. I've had my peanut butter bars in the refrigerator for about 2 hours now, and they should be very well set, chilled, and solid. So all we have to do now is cut them up and serve them up and enjoy. So let's first take it out of the pan. So here we go, and it lifts right out. Wonderful. I love, love, love my parchment paper. Okay, now let's pull the paper away and give it a little cut. You know how your senses can take you back to a certain time, place, or person? These bring me back to when I was a child and going to that one particular school that served these up in the cafeteria. My mouth is watering right now because I can't wait to take a bite. I'm gonna take this corner. These peanut butter bars are super delicious. Tastes kind of like a peanut butter cup. You got the peanut butter, the chocolate, you also have the graham cracker crust adding that texture. They're super delicious, easy to make. Get the kids involved. They'll have lots of fun. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, check out some of my other cookies I have on my cookie playlist. I'll see you next time.